Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu can
Yes.
only speak for a few minutes. Prabhu has truth extracted. So, since no one else is there, is going to speak for a few minutes only. So,
Prabhu, we have Rasikraman Prabhu.
huh?
I texted you. We have another speaker. He was just in front of me. I just asked him to give. He can speak, Prabhu.
Okay, sure.
Huh? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's coming in 2 minutes.
Sure.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Rasikraman Prabhu is a brahmachari from Chopati. He is a gold medalist and he is IIT Mumbai passed out. He is a brahmachari for more than a decade, some 12 years. So he can speak. I just spoke one class despite all my discomfort. I managed to finish it with great difficulty. Now I don't have strength for one more session. So Prabhu is there with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darshan Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Rasik Raman Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanutanam. Hare Krishna. So I was just passing by,
Yes.
and so Prabhuji took advantage of my being a visitor to his room. But yeah, I'm happy to serve him in some way, but I'm wondering how to serve him right now.
Yes, sir.
Jai Sri Ram.
You want to speak from the 11th canto, the fifth chapter, 34th verse, the
Oh,
Tyakta
is it?
Sujasta Suret Raja Lakshmi.
Oh,
Some,
so that is the verse on which we are
you can
discussing?
choose any topic, but I'm just suggesting if that whatever is convenient for you.
Okay, we'll say prayers and then
Sure,
let's figure out.
sure. Sure. Good.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान् सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So Sri Ram Navami is round the corner, and we are all trying to prepare our consciousness, and this particular week is a very auspicious week also. We have Srila Ramanujacharya's appearance day, I guess, and then we have of course Ram Navami is there. So, so it's a very, very auspicious week coming up. And yeah, for any festival, it's very important that we create the right consciousness, the right mood, the right eagerness and anticipation. Because if we think about it, before Lord Ram's appearance, Dashrath and all his wives, his queens, they were going through great anxiety and angst because they were not having any offspring, any son who could take forward the kingdom. And Dashrath Maharaj performed great austerities, and he prayed, and ultimately he was guided to perform this Putra Kameshti Yagya, and that Yagya ultimately, you had the Yagya Purush appear and provide him with this sweet rice, with this Yagya uh, prasad, and that he distributed among his queens. And they were such a festive environment because they all valued hmm, Dashrath Maharaj after so many, hundreds of years of not having any progeny. When he finally had the Supreme Lord as his son, you can imagine the entire kingdom was all together anticipating and this appearance of the Lord, and with all of their devotion, they attracted the Lord to appear. So therefore, through these discussions, devotees, our effort is that when the festival arrives, the day of festival arrives, it is not yet another day, yet another festival in our lives. It becomes an occasion where we experience the appearance of the Lord in our life. It's not just that, okay, it's yet another calendar, Vaishnav calendar Tithi, Madhava Tithi Bhakati Janani, Jatane Palana Kori. So does this Jatana Palana Kori means? Means that we see that this particular day is not an ordinary day. So this day it can actually offer me the greatest gift of prema bhakti, and for that, what is that jatan? And that jatan is what all of us are trying to do here, from wherever we are, trying to connect together to just discuss and glorify the Lord, so that we are also in that state of anticipation. We are also in that state of eagerness and earnestness, as was the case with all the Ayodhya Vasis, especially Dashrath Maharaj and Sumitra, Kaikai, and Kaushalya. So yeah, and then if we are in that state of consciousness, that day is not yet another day. The day of Ram Navami is not yet another day. It's it's a day where we can experience the presence of Krishna, presence of Lord Ram in our lives, and we can have that same excitement. And Lord Ram, it is said that the rendition of Ramayan started with love and kush. Hmm? So the Lord's own sons, they were the ones to start the parampara of Ramayana recitation. Of course, before that also Hanumanji recited to Sita Devi, and all the monkeys were also reciting, um, but in its whole context, it was Love and Kush, and they had come to the kingdom of Ayodhya, and they were reciting, and everyone was sitting down, and Lord Ram was sitting on the throne. But after a while, he felt that everyone, all the shrotas, all the devotees, they are listening in such rapt attention, and they are like huddled up together, trying to catch every word of it. And Lord Ram felt out of place. He felt that why should I be left out? So the fear of missing out. So the Lord also came down and he sat next to one of the shrotas in great anticipation, to listen to this Ram Katha, which none other than Lava Kush were reciting. And as it's such an absorbing narration of Ramayana, that you go through such churning of meeting and separation of the Lord being about to be coronated, and he's being exiled. And so everyone was going through all of those surges of emotions, and sometimes they were laughing, sometimes they were crying. And at one point of time, when everyone was laughing, the Shrota sitting next to Lord Ram, he just patted on the lap of Lord Ram, and Lord Ram, and this person, when he turned around, he realized it was Lord Ram, who was sitting next to him and hearing Ramayana with rapt attention. So, yes, so then when we prepare ourselves in that state of consciousness, then we don't, it's not yet another day, yet another festival in the Vaishnava calendar. It becomes an opportunity to actually witness those pastimes in our lives. And there are two realities: the reality which we see through our conditioned senses, which we perceive through our conditioned mind and senses, what's happening in the world today, the wars, the discrimination, wars, disparity, and economic crisis, whatever is happening. So that is one level of reality which we perceive through our conditioned mind and senses. But then there's another level of reality which the Shastras are showing to us. Hmm? And we all, growing up in Krishna consciousness, we hear that Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsa, Karna, Pato, that these are the four defects in the conditioned souls: the tendency to imperfect senses, tendency to get illusioned, the tendency to commit mistakes, and the tendency to cover up, to cheat. सो आर्ष विज्ञ वाक्य मध्ये नहीं यही सब. So in the statements of the pure devotees, the realized souls, in the statement of the Shastras, these four defects don't exist. So we have a choice at every moment to create our perception and perspectives based on what we gather from our conditioned mind and senses, which we know are inherently defective, or to actually feed ourselves, feed our mind based on the perspective which and the reality which the scriptures are opening to us. And so we can actually live in two worlds. One is the world here, and the world which Krishna is showing us, the acharyas are showing us, the Guru Sadhu Shastra is showing us through the medium of Hari Katha and Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we look at the perspectives which we get gathered through our mind and senses, it's very depressing what's happening in the world today, in, in Middle East and everywhere else. But there is hope. There is a very bright, aspect of truth. The truth is always bright. So if we turn towards that, so that's an opportunity that we all of us have by tuning ourselves to these wonderful pastimes of the Lord and leelas of the Lord. If we could only absorb ourselves and pay heed to the reality which scriptures are telling us. So when you say that Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnana jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So he says that if you inquire about the truth with a mood of humility and service attitude, then those who are tattvadarshis, who are actually seeing the truth, well, I also have eyes, I am also seeing something, but no, we are actually not seeing the truth. The truth of the matter is when we see not with our eyes but with the eyes of Krishna. When we see the world based on how Krishna and the acharyas see the world, and that's the truth. And what how Krishna sees the world, that's the worldview of the scriptures. So when we tune in to the worldview of the scriptures, that's a beautiful opportunity for us to see the bright side of things and not just get depressed by the chaos which is happening all around us. So now it is Ramayana means you can say it's all about the glories of Lord Ramchandra, his charitra. And when we say Lord Krishna is Leela Purushottam, what do we say about Lord Ram? How do we qualify Lord Ram?
Maryada Purushottam.
Maryada Purushottam.
Great, it means others are hearing. Wonderful, thank you. So, Maryada Purushottam. So, Lord Ram is Maryada Purushottam. And what do we mean by Maryada?
Stays within limitations.
Yes.
मर्यादा में रहते हैं, like for everything.
That's one meaning of Maryada. Yeah, Maryada means to show us the standards of conduct, the to live by the highest standards of spiritual, ethical, moral, and social conduct. So Lord Ram's life or his pastimes are demonstrating the highest standard of conduct, which he's setting the benchmark. That this is what it means to be a son. This is what it means to be a brother. This is what it means to be a husband. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yad yad acharati shrestha tattadeve tarot jana sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. He is saying that for a leader, it's very important to set the right example. Because whatever words the leaders speak may or may not be heard or understood. But whatever example they demonstrate, even without their knowledge, is being seen, imbibed, and followed. So therefore, it's very important for a leader to set the right example. And when Lord Krishna is saying that, he also tells to Arjuna, Name parthasya kartavyam trishu loka. So he doesn't have any duty to perform in these three worlds, but still he performs those duties. Still he lives by those maryada just to set an example. Otherwise, if the supreme leader doesn't live and demonstrate the example, then he can't expect the rest of the dependent jivas to live by any glorious example. So therefore, Lord appears as Lord Ram to set the debate or to set the tone of what does it mean to live by Maryada, what does it mean to have perfect conduct of spiritually speaking, morally, ethically, as a leader in whatever ways. What does it mean to be a great king? What does it mean to be a great brother or a son or a husband? Whatever examples are there which a leader is supposed to set, so Lord Ram has already set them. And Maryada is something we can say these are in the world we are living in today. While everyone is busy protecting their geographical borders, is it not? Whether the oceans, whether it is the water, the ocean, the land, the skies, every nation is very very with lot of grit protecting their borders. But these are geographical borders. But then subtler are cultural and ethical borders. So borders of culture and ethics. So Lord Ram, by his example, he's setting what are the borders, what are the boundaries of culture and ethics. And as a spiritual society, what should be, while yes, our goal is out of the world, our goal of life is out of the world, to go back home, back to Godhead. But those whose goal of our life is out of the world, their activities within this world should also be exemplary. So therefore, Lord Ram is by his behavior demonstrating, conduct demonstrating what should be the conduct of an ideal devotee, or an ideal human being in that sense. And therefore, it's very much needed that we as devotees, who are the most evolved beings on the planet, okay, we don't proclaim ourselves to be as evolved beings, but by just being proclaiming ourselves to be Vaishnavas, we also own a responsibility, the responsibility to set the right standard. Because if people see that, oh, these are Vaishnavas, these are devotees, they are spiritual people, and if they break the laws, if they break the rules, if their um, if their family if dealings are not in order, if their professional ethical dealings are not in order, then who else can you expect from? So therefore, for us devotees, it is very important to try to closely understand Lord Ram's dealings, and also imbibe as far as possible. And if you see Srila Prabhupada, he established Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman in very distinct, discrete temples. It was not every temple. So whichever temples are like in the capital towns in the countries, and which are of great political significance, great financial significance, where the leaders of the nation reside. So Srila Prabhupada made it a point that we should have Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman there, because that's the place from which the place of leadership is a place where Lord Ram's altar has to be there, to show that this is the Maryada which the human society should try to imbibe. So we have in India, you have in Juhu, Srila Prabhupada installed Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, right? And then in Radha Sati, we have Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman in Delhi. In US, I think you have in Washington, DC, right? Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
New Jersey.
Potomac Temple, Prabhuji, Maryland, and in Tobacco Temple, New Jersey, we have.
Okay.
Cannot think of anything else.
Yeah, so especially those who are capital cities, so there we see Prabhupada had this precedent of having all the Ram Darbar. So yeah, so that's something about Maryada. And now one thing about Lord Ram's appearance is that he appeared in the Punarvasu Nakshatra, in the on the Navami Tithi, Chaitra Navami. So, what is the significance of this nakshatra is that Punarvasu Nakshatra is reigned by Aditi, who is the mother of the Devatas. And one particular thing about this nakshatra being reigned by Aditi is that it has the power to integrate. So this nakshatra has the tendency to integrate and harmonize and synthesize. So Lord Ram, he's someone who actually integrates and harmonizes and synthesizes. So you have in Lord Ram's, whole Leela, you have integration and, as they call in today's language, equity and inclusion, and what do they call it, diversity, inclusion, equity. So basically Lord Ram had the monkeys in his army, the bears in his army. Then he had Shabri, who is just a forest woman, a tribal woman, and Lord Ram actually showed his mercy to her. And then someone who is just a boatman, Kevat. So Lord Ram actually showered his mercy upon Kevat. And then Guha, who is also a tribal person. So he has also received the mercy of Lord Ram. And then Vibhishan, who is from the family of the demons. So Lord Ram also integrates someone who is from the opposing demoniac army side. So here Lord Ram is showing, and even in fact he says that Sakrid eva prapannoyam tavasmi iti yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etam vratam mama. That even if once anyone comes and says, "Oh Lord, I am yours, I surrender." So Lord is saying, even anyone, even one says Abhayam Sarvada. So what the living entity has to do is just once say that, "Oh Lord, I am yours." Just once. And then the Lord takes up the eternal responsibility to give Abhay Dan to that person. Abhayam Sarvada Tasmai. He goes to the extent that even he says that when Vibhishan comes for Sharanagati, Lord Ram says that what to speak of Vibhishan, who is such a saintly person, even if Ravana had to were to come now and ask for being forgiven and accepted, Lord Ram said, I would have forgiven him and offered him the kingdom. So then he was asked that, oh, if you were to offer the king, you already have done the Rajabhishek of Vibhishan. Or you are, so he did the Rajabhishek of Vibhishan for becoming the king of Lanka. So what will you offer to Ravan if he surrenders to you? So Lord Ram said, okay, I'll offer him Ayodhya. Hmm. So then he was asked that, okay, if you offer that to Ayodhya, where will Bharat go? So Lord Ram said, okay, Bharat, I can give Vaikuntha. Hmm. So the Vaikuntha I'll offer to him. But then, Lord, where will you stay? Oh, don't bother. Hmm. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tisthami narada. I stay wherever my devotees discuss Ram Katha. I stay wherever there is glorification or discussion of Ramayana, wherever my devotees are coming together for Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantas Chamam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti Cha, wherever my devotees are coming together and discussing. So I am there. So basically, Lord Ram is not looking for any qualifications or any high birth or wealth or power. He's looking for the currency of sincerity. And if anyone offers even a bit of sincerity, Lord Ram is eager with both hands to receive them and integrate them back into his associate in his supreme shelter. So that's something about Lord Ram's birth nakshatra, and something interesting about mm, the janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So the janma and karma of the Supreme Lord are divya, are very divine in origin. So if we understand that, we won't have to take birth again. So the janma of the Lord, as we heard, as we discussed that, Dashrath Maharaj received this portion of payasam, this portion of sacred yagya prasadam from the yagya purush, and he offered the portion of that yagya prasad to Kaushalya and Kaikai. And both Kaushalya and Kaikai, seeing that Sumitra, who was always subservient and always malleable and amenable to everyone, affable to everyone, so they offered half of each of their portion of the payasam to Sumitra. So basically, that payasam, that whole kalash, it was divided into two parts. One part given to Kaushalya, one part given to Kaikai. And Kaushalya and Kaikai wanted to share it with their co-wife Sumitra, and then Sumitra was shared half portion each. So therefore, uh, when all of those three wives they partook of those remnants, then uh, then they bore these four transcendental supreme lords, who are Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, the Chaturvyuha, and they manifested as Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna. So, while Ram appeared from Kaushalya and Bharat appeared from Kaikeyi, the other two appeared from Sumitra. So, because Sumitra had partaken of two halves of that Yagya Prasad, so she basically bore Lakshman and Bharat. And so, as the pastime goes, that when these four divine babies, the Supreme Lord appear in the form of these beautiful tender babies. So all four of them were crying. All the babies were crying, and they were at their wits end. How do you pacify them? No one was able to pacify them. And then Vashishta Rishi comes and he says that you need to swap their positions. You need to have the Lakshman next to Ram, and you need to have Shatrughan next to Bharat. So and so actually Ram, Bharat, Lakshman and Shatrughna, they were put in the cradles in that order, because Ram was the eldest, then came Bharat, then came Lakshman, then came Shatrughna. So that was the order in which they were put in the cradles. But Vashishta said, no, you have to put Lakshman next to Ram, and you have to put Bharat next to Shatrughna next to Bharat, because he understood what was the mood of Sumitra Maya. And it's very interesting to note that whatever is the mood or bhav of the mother and the father, especially the mother, is imbibed by the child. So the mood of Sumitra Mata was always to serve and be the servant of the servant. So therefore, her two sons were meant to serve the the sons of her co-wives, her kind of superior co-wives. So therefore, you have when they put Ram and then Lakshman and Bharat, Shatrughna, all the four babies, they were actually smiling and beaming with great joy, because that's everyone was in their constitutional position. So we have in the Chaitanya Charitamrita this thing that uh, in the chapter of Advaita Acharya, it is mentioned in the, I think it's the sixth chapter of the Adi Lila, where it is mentioned that uh, every avatar has Das Abhiman. Das Abhiman means the great pride in being a servant. It's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron, like basically uh, where two contradictory things are put together. So Das is in this world, it's a very very inferior position. It's like being a slave. But then Das Abhiman, how can being a servant and being proud come together? Well, that's why the material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Here, everyone has abhiman in being a master, but in the spiritual world, everyone is having abhiman in being a servant. And to an extent where even the avatars, they consider themselves to be servants. So here, the avatars that who appear in this world, they consider themselves to be servant of Shirodakshai Vishnu. Shirodakshai Vishnu considers himself to be a servant of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he is offering his pranam and salam to his, respects to Karanodakshai Vishnu. Karanodakshai Vishnu is offering his respects to Sankarshan. Then Sankarshan is offering his respect to Vasudev. So you have this, second Chaturvyuha, first Chaturvyuha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Aniruddha is offering to Pradyumna. Pradyumna is offering to Sankarshan. Sankarshan is offering to Vasudev. So in this way, there everyone is having Dasabhiman. Everyone feels I have a master. भवन्तमेवा अनुचरं निरन्तर प्रशांत निशेष मनोरथांतर तदाहम ऐकांतिक नित्य किंकर प्रहर्षयिष्यामि सनाथ जीवितुम. That I think Yamunacharya, he is praying that Bhavantam eva anucharam nirantara. My mind is constantly tired and fatigued by wandering for after this thing and that thing. But Prashant Nishesh, but now I have become peaceful because I have accepted the position of being a servant. So that's the position which even the avatars are desiring, to be a servant of the servant, and therefore ultimately the sequence goes on until Balramji, because Balramji considers I am a servant of Lord Krishna. But then Krishna is saying everyone has a master except me. Why should I be left out? So I will come as a servant. Hmm. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya appears as the supreme servant of the servant of the servant of all the devotees. And so you have in his pastimes where he's folding clothes of devotees, running small errands for devotees, bringing, puja paraphernalia for devotees. So you have, uh, Sumitra, whose mood was to be the servant of the servant. Hmm. As the Lord says, Ye me bhakta jana partha. So those who call themselves as my bhaktas, devotees, they are probably not my devotees. Mad bhaktascha ye bhakta. So those who are calling themselves to be servant of my servants, devotees of my devotees, they may bhakta. So they are actually my devotees. Hmm? And Kulashekar Alvar, he is also praying in his Mukundamala Sutra. He is praying that what is the very beautiful verse? He says, "Majjanmana phalamidam मधुकैतबारे मत्प्रार्थनीय ममनुग्रह एष एव त्वद्भृत्य परिचारक भृत्यस्य भृत्य इति मां स्मर लोकनाथ." That uh, the fruit of all my austerities and worship and whatever yagyas and whatever I have done, charities, etc., whatever I have done, the only one fruit I desire. Hmm? What is that fruit? Do you want to become my devotee? No. Do you want to become the devotee of my devotee? No. Do you want to become the devotee of my devotee? No. I want to be recognized by you, O Lord, as the devotee of the devotee of the devotee 7 times of your devotees. So that's how emphatic it is. So here, Sumitra Mata, she wanted her sons not to be Bhagavad Bhakta, but Bhagavad Bhakta. She wanted her sons, Lakshman and Shatrughna, not to be Bhagavad Bhaktas. Not just to be Bhagavad Bhaktas, she wanted them to be Bhagavad Bhaktas, to be the servant of the Lord. So therefore that is the mood. That's the higher position in the spiritual sense. So, so that was the day of Ram Navami when these 4 children appeared, and after 12 months of pregnancy. So in the Chaitra Navami at Madhyana, that is in the noon time, in the Punarvasu Nakshatra, as we discussed. So something about the education and childhood pastimes of Lord Ram, something sweet. Although not much is known about Lord Ram's childhood pastimes, but something little bit Valmiki Rishi, and other authors sprinkle. So uh, Vashishta Rishi is, it's time for Lord Ram's education. Hmm? And in the education, ultimately the children have to be sent to the Gurukul. But Dashrath Maharaj was so attached because after so many prayers and austerities and after such like anticipation when Lord appeared, he didn't want to, miss a moment with Ram out of his sight. So he actually personally took his sons to Vashishta Rishi's ashram and offered them to be taught the guru the vidyas at the Gurukul of Vashishta Rishi. So then Vashishta Rishi, he said, well, you have come and offered your sons, so let me do my job and you go. So Dashrath Maharaj said, no, no, what is the problem? You can teach them, I will sit and stay here. So, well, you have the kingdom to run, like, so, no, Dashrath said, I have sorted everything out. I just want to sit and see you teaching. Vasishtha Rishi said, nothing doing. You can't stay here. You have to go. Hmm. Uh, Generally, even many times when you speak to the teenagers or young children, so then generally they say that parents, if they are there, they don't open up. Hmm. But that was not the reason why Vasishtha Rishi was asking him to go. He was asking him to go because he would not be able to open up. Hmm. Vasishtha Rishi would not be able to open up in front of Dashrath. What would he not be able to open up? He actually knew that these are the supreme lords who have appeared as part of their pastime in this form of small boys. So in front of Dashrath Maharaj, he would not be able to offer them obeisances. Hmm? So therefore, he asked Dashrath Maharaj to go, and therefore, finally, as the order of his own guru, Dashrath Maharaj could not disobey. So he finally had to leave from that ashram, and so then Vasishtha Rishi, after Dashrath Maharaj goes out, so he actually there's a conversation. Dashrath Maharaj says, "What's wrong? What's the harm if I sit and witness my sons being taught the Dhanurvidya by you? It's quite normal for the father to see the sons being taught, and the father takes great pleasure in seeing his sons learn. So what's abnormal about it?" So Vasishtha Rishi said, "Okay, there's nothing abnormal in a father seeing his sons, study and learn. But first of all, you should consider: is it normal about children being born after mothers consuming some sweet rice coming from a yagya? Hmm. So if that is not normal, your sons are not normal. So you please proceed." So therefore, Dashrath Maharaj has to go, and then once he goes, the Vasishtha Rishi, he does a circumambulation. He does a parikrama of the four boys, and then prostrates himself, and then starts offering prayers, that Vedescha Sarver Ahameva Vedyo, from all the Vedas you are only to be known, and so what can I teach you but worshipping the Ganges with the Ganges water. So that was the very intimate pastime which is mentioned of Lord Ram's education. And also one another very sweet pastime is mentioned, ki now they are midway through their education, like they are learning Dhanurvidya from. And by the way, it is mentioned that Lord Ram got married to Sita when he was 12 and Sita was 6. So which means how quickly they must have picked up everything. So Vasishtha Rishi is teaching them, and they are just learning these things, and they are quite young. And so Lakshman, he is little, kind of restless. He wants to try to use the vidya which he is learning. Wants to put it to some good use. So they are just passing by, and generally Lord Ram is not shown to do some, pranks. It's only Krishna who does so much pranks. But here we will have some pranks. So, so Lakshman, after seeing, they were passing by, and they saw a little girl who was going from that route, and she had an unusually big nose ring. Hmm. So she was having a big nose ring, and she was carrying a water pot on her head, and she was passing by, and then Lakshman asked Lord Ram, "Don't you think that her nose ring is too big for her size?" Lord Ram says, it's quite unusual. It's too big for her size. So Lakshmana said, "Don't worry. Let me do something." He pulled out an arrow and shot an arrow, and that arrow went and zipped past so quickly, and all it did was just cut the nose ring, and just in such a millisecond, and it shortened that nose ring to be the of the right size. And then when both of the boys, Ram and Lakshman, they saw it, they were laughing. Ki, wow, what a miracle we have done with this Dhanurvidya. And this girl was seeing them, why are these boys laughing at her? And then Lakshman said, look, she was quizzically looking at them, and Lakshman said that, well, look at your nose ring. Now it's perfectly fitting your size. Otherwise, it was too big. She says, so what happened? How did that happen? So Lakshman said, well, I just shot my arrow. And she said, I can't believe it. How is it possible? You are just kidding. So then Lakshman said, well, I will shoot another arrow to make it even smaller. So Lakshman shoots another arrow, and the nose ring becomes so small that she's unable to breathe. She's getting choked. And Lord Ram says, Lord Ram starts panicking. So he shoots another arrow, and again makes it medium size. Hmm. And to the great respite of this little girl. So we don't have much description of Lord Ram's childhood pastime, but these are some pastimes which are mentioned about Lord Ram's childhood pastimes. So till what time are we supposed to go on?
9 o'clock, Prabhu.
Which means how many more minutes?
15 more minutes.
Okay. So 15 more minutes. Maybe we can discuss
You can
something
take
about.
questions also. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can discuss something about Lord Ram's exile pastime. Hmm. So we all know about Dashrath Maharaj. He had been contemplating for a long time, and some some of his astrologer told him that actually there is a particular astrological calculation that if he doesn't coronate Lord Ram immediately, then something untowards can happen. So, and therefore, Dashrath Maharaj was very anxious, and then he immediately he called an emergency meeting, and he said, "I have been contemplating about this for long, and I've called everyone here, every important minister, every important member of this town, to ask for your thoughts on one important decision, and which is I have been thinking about succession. Hmm. I've been thinking of handing over my kingdom to uh, a suitable candidate, and I feel that Ram will be the perfect king for this kingdom of Koshal. So when he says this, he gets a loud round of applause, hmm, and everyone is cheering. So while Darshat Maharaj was himself very, very anxious for Ram to become the king, but he had not anticipated such a response, such a very overwhelming response that everyone is cheering, everyone is jumping up with joy. So generally, when the class ends, and the speaker says, "So we will conclude the class here," and then there's a loud round of applause, the speaker is in two minds. Is the applause because of the class or because the class ended? Hmm? So similarly, Dashrath Maharaj is thinking here. So is this applause because I am coronating Ram as a king, or because I am stepping down from from being the king? So he's confused, and he's genuinely having that doubt that have I been a good king, and so then he asks Vashishta Rishi, so that is it not a good decision am I making? And so Vashishta Rishi says that actually your rule has been perfectly spotless, faultless. But you see, everyone is so overjoyed here, not because of your stepping down, because of Ram being coronated. And actually, there has been no fault in your, entire rule. The only one fault that you had is to produce such a son as Ram, hmm, who is completely spotless and is this, apple of the eye of everyone. uh, you know, when anyone has any celebration or joy in their life, any ordinary citizen in Ayodhya, Lord Ram sits and laughs with them. If anyone is going through some sorrow, some crisis, some grievance, Lord Ram personally sits and cries his heart with them. So he's one amongst us, and therefore he is the best leader for all of us. So therefore therefore Dashrath Maharaj also became very happy, And so then the word spread, and as we know that Mantra came to know about this, and she went and informed Kaikai that Kaikai Mata, that this is like basically she was the Dai of Kaikai right from her childhood. So she tells Kaikai that, have you heard what unearth is happening, or have you heard what misfortune is happening? So she says, what? She tells him that Ram is going to be coronated tomorrow as the king. And then Kaikai becomes very happy. She becomes so exhilarated, elated, that because she would consider Ram more her son than even Bharat. And that was the kind of bonding, camaraderie, and love which the entire family shared. Hmm. So even the best of bonds, even the best of um, relationships are not immune to criticism and backbiting. So therefore, it is very important to be very, very wary against prajalpa and criticism and backbiting and fault finding, because the Kali Yuga is Kaler Dosha Nidhi Rajan. Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. And when we speak of an ocean, so if you talk of an ocean, is it that you see, oh, there is fault here, oh, there's fault there, oh, there's some fault here. Ocean means you can't see the end to an ocean. Hmm? It's not like puddles of water, rainwater. Oh, there's a puddle of rainwater here, puddle of rainwater there, puddle of rainwater over there. Actually, it's an ocean of faults, and all you can see in this Kali Yuga are so many faults, right? So it's very easy to find faults. Um, but the essence, the devotees are meant to be saragrahi. So essence seekers, and so looking into the heart of each devotee, actually everyone is a saragrahi. So what fault Mantra was finding is, she was trying to say that, look, Bharat and Shatrughna are not here, and therefore I can seriously, I can surely sense that um, uh, there is some kind of plan to actually keep Bharat out and coronate Ram. So there is, I can sense that there is some uh, injustice, and so basically she was trying to incite Kai against Ram and against Kaushalya. So in that sense, how much actually Kai loved Ram, the testimony to that is that after all the princes, they were married together, right? To Sita and her sisters. So they were all married together, and then when they came to and back to Ayodhya, hmm, so Ram along with Sita and Lakshman along with what is her name? Urmila, and Bharat with Mandavi. So all these four princes and these four princesses got married together. And when they came back, there's the custom of muh dikhai, where the new bride is offered some gift. So when Kaikai Mata sees Sita and sees Mandavi, who is direct daughter-in-law, she's thinking, what is the best thing I can offer? That is the Kanak Bhavan. The best palace in the entire Ayodhya is Kanak Bhavan, is the palace of Kaikai Mata. Because she, being the dearest wife of Dashrath, he had employed the best of artisans and the best of materials to create this golden palace for Kaikai. And Kaikai Mata, within at the blink of an eye, she vacated that palace to offer it to Sita. So that's how much she loved Ram and how much she loved Sita more than her own son and daughter-in-law. And she didn't offer it to Mandvi, she offered it to Sita without blinking an eye. But here, with criticism and backbiting by Mantra, her intelligence gets deflected and deviated, and she becomes ready to send the same Ram on exile. to the same Ram whom she was ready to sacrifice everything for, the same Ram she is making him to sacrifice and give up everything. Hmm? So that's what mantra is doing. Mhm. And in those times, there was only one mantra in the entire Ayodhya. Hmm? One mantra in this beautiful city of Ayodhya, town of Ayodhya, kingdom of Ayodhya, where everyone is devotee. But one mantra can completely spoil the show and create chaos and mm, you know bereavement to the entire kingdom. Now later on there was a mantra in every city, which is the cinema halls came, and the job of the role, the job description of mantra is to incite people against Ram. Hmm? To incite people against surrendering their life and to Lord Ram. So what cinema industry or film industry started doing is to create some propaganda. Then there was mantra in every home, television, right? Through television, all of these different channels, the propaganda against uh, purity, against principles, against devotions was being carried out. And now there's mantra in every pocket, where you pick out your pocket and you have a mantra who is ready to babble out all the propaganda for you to get distracted from your innate natural devotion. So Kaikai had natural devotion to Lord Ram, but that got compromised. So but what is the character of Lord Ram that's so beautiful to see? When he comes to know this, he doesn't have even a you know a, even a fraction of a feeling or an emotion of being betrayed or being of some injustice. He immediately very gracefully accepts it and is ready to move on, and so much so that he goes away. It's a long story. But the bottom line is that uh, when he's accompanied by um, he's accompanied by the Sarthi of Dashrath Maharaj. What is his name? Uh, what is his name? Sarthi of Dashrath
Sumantra.
Maharaj. Sumantra, yes, Sumantra. So you have mantra and then you have Sumantra. So when Sumantra comes along and Sumantra offers to Lord Ram that, Lord Ram, I am going to stay here with you. So in fact, all the citizens initially they come with Lord Ram, and Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, and in fact Dashrath Maharaj is also coming along, and Dashrath Maharaj tells him, let Kaikai die in this palace and rot in this city. We will all go to the forest. And we will all accompany you. We will all go to the forest, and let forest become Ayodhya, and this Ayodhya become the forest. So that was, but Lord Ram said, no, this will be going against your promise. And so Lord Ram goes, then Dashrath Maharaj, he, collapses in grief. And then Lord Ram is, on the chariot, but he sees the old Brahmanas and everyone, children, everyone is following him. So he tells the chariot to stop, and he gets down from the chariot and walks along with everyone. And in the night, when they have a stopover, so Lord Ram tells mm, Sumantra in the middle of the night, wakes him up and tells him that we are all ready to go, because if we wait till next morning, then all of these people will also come, and I don't want anyone else to get the discomfort which is meant for me. So they all cross the river, crisscross the path, so that no one comes to know. And finally, it's time when Lord Ram tells to Sumantra that now you also you go back. So when they are at Guha's ashram, Lord Ram tells him that you also now go back. So and in fact, Guha brings in very nice, wonderful, delicious meal for Lord Ram, Sita, and Lakshman. Lord Ram tells that I can't have this. If I have come to the forest, Maryada, I am supposed to live like a forest dweller, so I will just eat some roots and fruits. But offer this food to the horses. Hmm. So that's how Lord Ram is. And then Sumatra actually says that I will stay with you, and I'll take you on the chariot across the forest, across these 14 years. And if you don't believe me, these horses won't even go back. They can't leave your association. They can't leave your company. So, uh, so Lord Ram ultimately sends him back. There's a beautiful conversation which happens between them, because he says that you have to actually Dashrath Maharaj will be very anxious, and someone has to share the news that I have been, I have very safely went on my journey. So basically, that's how is the personality of Lord Ram, that he is so affable and he's so he's setting the perfect example. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have a few minutes to take questions, Prabhu, or you tell when you.
I think Ram Leela is just to be heard. I think there are not much questions to. People can't ask much questions about Ram. About Krishna, people will have many questions. Why did he do this? Lord Ram, everything is perfect.
Can we comment, Prabhuji? Are we allowed to comment?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you. It was a very nectarian class. I just wanted to say that the two things like I'm taking away from this class is how you said that it's a reminder of the that how it sets borders of culture and ethics, and how we need to follow that, and how like we should take great pride in being a servant. You talked about Dasya Abhiman. And the other two things I just wanted to mention is that for me, Ramayan, like I look at it as like it's all about devotional service, whether it's like the four brothers or Sumantra, and anybody you take it, like Hanumanji, the monkeys, and everything. And the most important lesson that I get from Ramayan is that from so many examples, like Shabri and the Kevat. And I'm not sure if it's the ant or the squirrel who was helping in the bridge, because you hear different versions, and how
Spider and
what who was it?
the spider, all the squirrel. They are different
Squirrel,
versions.
yeah. And how Lord Ram said, like that no service is menial, like, so no, even if it's the minimum or the most menial, it to God, like Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, it matters is the sincerity and the love behind it. So that's the most important lesson that I always, take, and that like you gave a lot of examples of that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Haribo.
So much, Sachinada.
Haribo.
Thank you.
I'm seeing Keshav Madhav. So
Yeah.
he has,
For a long time, Rasikshan Prabhu. It was such a sweet class. Thank you so much for spreading the
thank you,
sweetness
thank you.
true to
Hare
your
Krishna.
name. Very, very grateful to you.
Hari. Thank you, bro.
Today, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu was supposed to speak because of tooth extraction, so he could not speak. But we are fortunate to have Ramanipati Prabhu. I forget your name,
Rasikshan
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Prabhu, I am
Rasikshan.
his student, so he
Wonderful.
has
We have a better version of Ramayana from Rasik Raman Prabhu.
Jai
He
Jai.
is a medalist.
fumbling, but it was I was not sure whether what I'll be able to speak, but I think there's some magic in this seat where he sits. The vibrations of Hari Katha of thousands of hours he has spoken.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya कृपा सिंधुभ्यो पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो संत कोटि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you
look
so
forward
much.
to seeing you, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, soon in July 11 to 14 here.
Yes, Prabhu. Happy to serve you there.
Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you,
Thank you.
everybody. Hari Bol.
Jawara
Hare Krishna.
Ramachandra ki
Jai.
Jai.
Gopal ki jai. Thank you.
Jai.
We'll have quick announcements. So please join today's Sunday Feast program in the evening. 5:30 to 9 p.m.
Okay.
And Tuesday, Thursday is Ram Navami, as it's mentioned. 7 to 9 p.m. We'll be celebrating Kirtan, Katha, and Prasadam. Please join. Invite everybody else. And distribute books. Ram's consciousness, please distribute far and wide wherever it's possible. And our Grace Vinapani Mataji's funeral rites, last rites will be done on Tuesday at our temple view. At least viewing is there at temple. We posted the message timing, and then
Community hall.
yeah, community hall. So please join. So those are the quick announcements. Next 28th is Ekadasi, Kamada Ekadasi, fasting from grains and beans. Okay. Any other thing? Yeah, today evening Sunday feast by Vraj Vihari Prabhu. Please join. Next Sunday by Dwarkadish Prabhu. Take the
Yes.
association here. Ram Katha Part 3 from Vraj Vihari Prabhu.
So one quick thing on
Go ahead.
Tuesday you announced from 11 to 2, and then the cremation is at Franklin Memorial Park. And then on Wednesday evening at the temple from 7 to 9 p.m. is the memorial service for Vinapani Mataji, where devotees can speak. And Vinapani Mataji wanted, she also fixed up the feast menu, what it should be after, after 3 days. So of her departure, but since the funeral is happening on Tuesday, it will be on Wednesday. I think we should chant 3 times. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram
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 Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
She always used to attend the Sunday class. So I'm really missing.
Yeah, she used to join first. Even evening classes also she started joining since 2-3 months.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Hare
Thank you, everybody. Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
everyone. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Bol.